What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to you with a quick video. We see that the Rockets have acquired Kevin Porter Jr. from the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Houston Rockets will send a future protected second round pick. Porter was actually drafted in 2019, where he had really made a little bit of some noise when he was able to give you 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.2 assists, which is pretty good considering that he was a second round pick. He still did shoot 44% from the field and 33% from three. It was a 72% free throw shooter and was shooting two a game. And he did have a lot of turnovers, but he was young and he did play in 50 games and he started three of them. A lot of people gave this guy high praise, and one of the biggest reasons, as you guys have heard if you know about him, that he dropped in the draft was because of his personality and his immaturity and his attitude. And that's the reason why Cleveland is actually getting rid of him. The caution that everybody had for him is the reason why he's already off his first team. And he has shown that he's a diamond in the rough. He has a good body, being a legitimate 6'4", being a guy that's a legitimate 203 pounds, being a guy that is a dual threat, being able to score from mid range, being able to shoot threes, and being able to be a decent playmaker and decision maker. Very raw, in my personal opinion, in those areas. But look how young he is. This is only his second year in the NBA, and he's only 20 years old. And he'll be 21 not that long from now. And when you consider the fact that this is a double-digit scorer on decent efficiency, and he's only 20 years old, you look at that as something that you can build upon. But the Rockets have already been a step ahead. Once they have traded for him, they have already set him up with John Lucas to be a mentor and to oversee him and to work with him. Guys like Kevin Porter Jr. don't survive in the league that long unless they have great talent. Teams will put up with it. We seen it with Draymond. We seen it with DeMarcus Cousins. They lost Kevin Durant because Draymond started cutting up, and he's still there with Golden State. You have to weigh to take the good with the bad, and you have to literally know what you are willing to accept, what you are willing to continue to take for these type of players. And that's why they have to be Hall of Fame caliber, like a DeMarcus, like a Draymond, if you're going to commit to them long term. Because not too many teams are going to be in a rush to give up a guy of Kevin Porter's talent unless they really feel like they can't tolerate it anymore. And that's what the Cavaliers basically did. But you have to learn from this if you Kevin Porter Jr. You can't go around thinking you're going to get your way, thinking that things should be this way, or thinking that teams and people are going to put up with it. This is a business. If I had to be honest, this is a business, and you're replaceable. Every player in the league will be replaced or should be replaced. And that's not to be mean or pricky about it, but it's true. Even LeBron James has to be replaced. He left Cleveland, they had to figure out a different direction. He left Miami, they had to figure out a different direction, a different personnel, and how they can get back to the top. And the Lakers will do the same if he decides to retire. Nobody's in this forever. Nobody will be in this forever the way that the league is and the way that it goes and the way it's always, touting young players. And on top of that, the league is younger than ever. So that's not changing, and it looks like that's going to only increase the way the league been going. So he has to wake up. You have to wake up eventually because it can cost you your career. If you as an NBA caliber player and you deserve to be in the NBA, it's impossible to make it. It's impossible to play in games because some people don't even get a chance to do that because they get cut in summer league. They don't even make it past the G League. But Kevin Porter has done both. He has been productive in the league. He has shown that he can actually play in the league, and he has shown that he can even be possibly a starting caliber player. And if that's the case, and that's how he feels, and that's what he has shown, you have to be able to conduct yourself like a professional, and you have to be able to conduct yourself like a guy that is happy and wants to continue to be in the NBA and think he should be there. You have to do your part too. But outside of that, I thought Calvin Porter Jr. was nice in the draft with his versatility and his mobility and the fact that he is fearless. This is a guy that he's not shy. He's very confident in his game. He holds himself to that standard that he have set for himself. Even though you look at the numbers, it doesn't blow you away, considering that he's coming off the bench and the type of minutes that he was getting. He was very productive and he did produce. And the fact that he's still raw and still young and really doesn't have a direction right now of where he's going, it is important for him to get this stuff in track because he can have a special career. Obviously, Houston didn't mind giving up a second round pick, just like Cleveland didn't mind drafting them in the second round. They're going to take a gamble on him. And I think that when you can get a guy of this talent with this type of upside that he has shown and that he has, and is basically all potential, second round pick is nothing, and especially when it's a future second rounder. So if you can get a productive NBA player, that's what you're going to basically get in the second round anyway, and you're getting that in Kevin Porter Jr. right now. So not only does he have high upside, but you already know what he brings to the table. You already know what he can do. Another thing that made him upset was he wasn't even getting the playing time that he wanted, and he had a problem with that. Well, you have to earn your way. This is the NBA. There's a lot of players that are great. There's a lot of players that are good. There's a lot of players that are better than you. And that's what you come in as a rookie, and that's what you are in the first couple years of your career. So that's something that he didn't like, but that's something that all the rookies and a lot of players are dealing with anyway. And you have to work your way up by proving it not only as a professional, but also as a player. And that's why he started getting minutes late, and then he ended up getting we ended up getting the COVID-19 that basically wrapped up the season. And obviously, the Cavaliers was not a team that could play in the bubble because their record wasn't that good. So to me, it's unfortunate that the Cavaliers knew they had something special. They believed in the guy. They thought that they could be there for the guy. They thought that they can really turn him into something good in the future. And obviously, now they just get a second round pick that they don't even know what's going to be and who they're going to get and what it's going to become. And you knew what you had in Kevin Porter. So this is something that they didn't want to do. This is something that they was also prepared and or knew before it even happened. And now the Rockets have the same situation, and now they have the same circumstances. You don't want to waive them because you get nothing out of it. You do want to trade them to get something out of it. So it makes sense why they did this. And now it's up to Kevin Porter Jr. to take control of his career and use this as motivation to be smarter, learn from it, and also realize how special it is to be in the NBA, how special it is to even get an opportunity, and how special it is that you still do have a second chance to correct the mistake that you have been making throughout your career, whether it's in college, whether it's in high school, or whether it even is with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not too many teams gonna have a leash with you, and not too many teams gonna put up with them. But it is up to him to decide: is he willing to change? Is he willing to mature just for his career? If not, his career could be over very soon in the NBA. And that's, as a fan of basketball and as somebody that I have respect for him as a player, that's not what I want to see, and that's not what I hope happens. What I do hope happens is he actually, take advantage of this situation and actually get his career going back to where it was last year for a couple months, and get it in the right direction. So I'm hoping that you can figure it out. I'm hoping that you don't destroy your own career. And I'm hoping that at the end of the day, he ends up having a special career, whether it's with the Rockets or somebody else. But, you can't take things for granted. And playing in the NBA is something that everybody wish and hope they can do. And he's actually able to do it still after the situation with Cleveland and what he did in the past. Hopefully he doesn't take that for granted and he comes back strong and he gets his head screwed in the right way and he goes out there and play and prove that he belongs to be in the league and he can be something special in the league. And if he does that, it's a win for all of us. If he doesn't, it's not only a loss for the people that believe in him, it's also a loss for him because he failed his goal of staying in the NBA and being a special player. And that's something that he can control just by maturing and handling situations better and letting his play do the talking. Other than that, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. That will also be in the description comment section below. You can buy merchandise on my Facebook page. You can change the color of the hat, customize it the way you want to be. You can also do that with shirts. Not only that, at the end of the day, you can also buy merchandise on my spread shirt. That will also be in the description comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Like and subscribe to the videos. Liking and sharing allow this channel to be reached and seen by more people. The more people it reaches, the more people it sees it. Helps this channel grow. If you don't want to buy any merchandise, that's another way to support it. I also have over 2,000 videos on my channel, so you love breakdowns, players, legends, rookies, and also summer league coverage, draft coverage, top 10 lists, and season previews, even debates and discussions about the hottest topics or just in general. This is the channel for you as I upload every single day throughout the whole year. Other than that, Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis signing out. Enjoy y'all day.